Hello and welcome back. Susan Zummo here, intuitive and originator of soul patterning harmonics. Well, the month is going quickly, isn't it? We are almost into May and things are going to start picking up again. Energies are coming in, astrological changes are taking place, and all kind of things are going to start to shift even more than they already have. But what we want to talk about today is something a little different. When I asked today what the message was going to be, they actually said, "You are the message." And then they reminded me, or I was reminded of a situation that happened to me many, many years ago. And they said that this is a good descriptor for what many people are going through today. And so I'm going to share this with you. So for those of you who know me at all know that I really don't like to talk about myself a lot. I really like to focus on the message. But I think you'll find this, if not entertaining, enlightening as well. So many years ago, I was seeing a friend of mine, an acupuncturist, regularly. And she was absolutely wonderful. And I usually didn't have a lot of physical things going on, but it was more maintenance to keep my energy flowing, that kind of thing. Well, one day I went in and I had a terrible migraine and usually don't get headaches. So I was crying like a baby and went in and said, "Oh, you've got to do something." And so we got me on the table and she put in, a couple of needles. And she said, "Okay, I'm going to put a needle in at the base of your nail bed." This was on my ring finger. And I was horrified. Now, I'm not afraid of needles. I had been going to her for years. She's absolutely wonderful healer and intuitive. And I said, no, you can't do it. You just can't do it. I had that image in my head of this huge needle going into my nail bed. And I was just horrified. And I said, you're just going to have to find another way to do it. You can't do it. And she said, she explained to me, that I wouldn't feel anything and that it would relieve my headache quickly. And I said, no, just go ahead and find another way around it. If you have to use 20 needles, that's okay. And so she started to talk to me about something that distracted me for a moment. And she said, "Oh, and by the way," and plink, she put that needle in. Well, my headache instantly disappeared. And I mean instantly. And I said to her, "What did you do?" And she said, "Oh, I just needled your nail bed." And I thought, oh, okay. So here I was, and this is the part that we want you to listen to. I had come to a wall in what I was able to wrap my head around and what I thought I was going to be able to handle when it came to this particular part of my life and my healing. I had a terrible fear of what was going to feel like when she put that needle in. And of course, nothing happened. I didn't feel anything actually, except the headache go away. My guys said to me, this is how many of people are feeling at this time. We have hit a wall. Some of us have hit that point where we just don't think we can go past it. We don't think we can handle one more change. And Lord knows we've had a lot of change in our lives. Many of us have been faced with constant and unrelenting change. And if not throughout your entire life, certainly now with everything that's going on. Some of us may feel that we just can't take another change. That like we're just, no more. I can't do it. Well, they said the good news is that like your friend, your soul and your higher Creator Source love you. And that change is going to take place anyway. And because you have placed your trust in the universe, in Source, in yourself, it will come about and it will be just fine. And when you get to the other side of that change, it will be peaceful, it will be painless, and you will feel wonderful. Now, I gave my friend permission to do that by walking into her office and laying on her table. We who are on this ascension path have given our souls permission to facilitate the changes that we have wanted to see and have prayed for and visualized. So the good news is that while you may have hit a wall or hit a point in your life where you don't feel like you can do another change, you don't feel ready for one more change, you want it to stop for a little while, don't worry. There's going to be a comfortable pause, and then the change will happen, and it'll be just fine. And I said, okay, I'm going to trust you on that. And they went, good. I would recommend that you do the very same. Now, here's the other half of that story that's important. I am a bandage ripper. I am not a bandage slow puller. And my friend knew this about me. Yes, we could have had me on the table for 35 minutes, an hour. She could have put in dozens of needles and eventually affected the same outcome. But she knew me well enough to know that I'm not a person who wants to lay on the table for an hour, and I want it to happen quickly. And so she facilitated that for me. Well, here we are. Some of us are bandage rippers. We want things to happen quickly and are okay, mostly, with the chaos that ensues as a result of that instant and quick change. Others of us are the slow pullers, and we want that bandage pulled off one little bit at a time with the least amount of discomfort. And it will take longer, and we're okay with that. If you look at what has been happening for us over the last 100 years, we have been on the slow pull. And the reason that we have been on the slow pull of pulling that bandage off by our higher selves and our souls and collective humanity is to cause the least amount of discomfort and pain for the most amount of people. And so for those of us who are pullers, it's been torturous. We are always tapping our feet, waiting for everybody to catch up and in a hurry. For those who are slow pullers, it may be feeling like it's going too fast. And so there's discomfort for everybody. Of course, there are those who are absolutely fine with whatever is happening in the pace that it's happening at, and I applaud them. And I have gotten to be in that place recently, but it has taken many years to find peace in being in a world where everything is happening a little more slowly than I would prefer. Now, I say that we have been in a place of slow pulling for many years. However, at some point on that slow pull, there is a tipping point that occurs where it's just time to rip the bandage off the rest of the way and get that thing off there. To uncover what's underneath, to clean it out, and to heal it once and for all. To take the necessary steps to facilitate healing so that it can become whole. This is where we are now. We are now almost at the tipping point of the quick pull so that the healing process can finish and move at a faster pace. So this is the place where some of us are going to be very relieved, and some of us are going to feel a moment of sheer terror. And what I was told was for everyone to go within, to breathe deeply, and to anchor into that center that we have been practicing connecting with all these years. And we know that it does not have to be a long, tedious process, and it does not have to be a thing where you sit down, you dim the lights, you turn on the music, you light the candle, you burn the incense. No, it's just a breath away. And they said, a breath away. So, if you are a person who can pull yourself back from the edge quickly, do it. If you need a friend on the path to help you reel it in and recentered, reach out, call them. If you are someone who is interested in elevating your consciousness, expanding your abilities, get in touch with me. And I mean that sincerely. On May 18th, I'm going to be doing phase 2 of connecting and activating your light body through soul connection. On June 22nd, we'll be doing the next light codes activation. That'll be number 3 for this year. And that's going to be a big one, trust me. And if you're interested in really advancing, contact me about soul patterning. I think you'll find it very beneficial. So that's what we've got for this week. Of course, I'm going to remind you to breathe, to get outside for 10 minutes, get that sunlight on your face and on your body. Do what you need to help yourself move past whatever point you've reached that you don't feel that you can get past. Ask for help. Go within, connect with your higher, connect with your soul. The universe will support you, but you have to ask. They are not going to step forward until you give them permission or you ask. And so I say do it, right? Do it. Let's get there, right? Hurry up. Come on, let's go. All right, so that's the message for this week. I hope that wherever you are in this world, you are ready for change because it's going to be great and it is coming. So until next week, I wish you many, many blessings.